She is Rebecca Lowe, NBC Sports Premier League host and hosting the Kentucky Derby. It all unfolds tomorrow. NBC Sports will be at Churchill Downs Saturday, 2:30 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. She also hosts the Premier League live from the very same location with coverage beginning at 2 Eastern right here on Peacock. Oh, look who is part of the scenery. It's Rebecca Lowe. Boy, describe the pageantry surrounding you.
Oh, Dan, so lovely to talk to you. It's a lot of pink because it's Ladies' Day in honor of remembering breast cancer survivors and paying tribute to them. So we've got a lot of pink, hats. We've got very tall hats, seems to be a theme. I'm not a big hat person, Dan. I don't know if you are, but I love a fascinator. But the hats around here are quite incredible.
There's a horse walking right behind you, by the way. You see that?
It happens here. It does happen a lot. I'm in the paddock, right in the paddock.
There are a lot of horses down there at Churchill Downs. All right, set the scene for tomorrow.
Okay, so as you said, I'm doing a bit of double duty. So we've got the Premier League in the morning. I'll be here in the morning. We've got 3 match windows, finishing with Arsenal taking on Bournemouth. And then we come off there on NBC at around 2:30 Eastern, I think. And I throw pretty much directly to Mike Tirico, who then opens the show for the coverage on NBC. They'll have been on all day pretty much, though, on USA Network and Peacock. He'll then open the show on NBC, the big open at 2:30 Eastern. And I make a run in some direction, not quite sure which direction it is yet, to meet up with Dylan Dreyer. We do our first hit, and then I have a bunch of hits throughout the day, culminating in the winner's circle with the interview with the winning owner. So can't wait for that. That is always a great, great moment. I get the best seat in the house, Dan, to watch the race. I'm like in the pagoda at the winner's in the winner's circle. So it's an absolute treat. And
I told this audience, those 2 minutes, there's nothing else that compares to those 2 minutes when the horses are, in the gate and all of a sudden, boom, they're off. And how would you describe that feeling?
I think the only way I can describe it is having seen, for the first time I've ever seen the 100 meters race, the men's 100 meters I saw in Paris in 2024, which is only 9 seconds. So it's much shorter in that way, but it's the same build up. You're all building up to this tiny fraction of time in which so much can happen. So it feels a little bit like that. And then the ending is so interesting, Dan, because when the favorite wins, the whole place erupts. And then the last couple of times I've been here, when it's not the favorite, or we had Rich Strike at 80-1 a few years ago, it was like you could hear a pin drop. Everybody was furious. So the end is really interesting as well, depending on who wins. And then it's just seeing the happiness on people's faces, the owners, the connections. It's just one big party. It's amazing.
What kind of celebrities are going to be there?
So I've heard that Aaron Rodgers is coming. I think Lamar Jackson, does he play for the Baltimore Ravens?
Yes, he does.
Yes, okay, excellent. Simone Biles, I'm going to be interviewing Simone Biles tomorrow, so I'm so excited about that. Shabuzi, we've got Jack Harlow, the singer, who's a big Premier League fan. So excited to talk to him about Premier League before we actually do the interview. So we've got a good number of good faces coming, Dan.
Taylor Swift, she's showing up?
You know what? I don't think so this year. There were rumors that Travis Kelce was coming. I was going to interview him. That could have been interesting. But no, I think he's going to the Formula One this weekend. So there's a lot of good things going on. But this is the place to be, Dan Patrick. You know it. I cannot believe you're not here.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this. If you could have a Triple Crown winner, you could be an owner of a Triple Crown winner, or one of the owners of Wrexham.
Oh gosh, I have to go Wrexham. I have to go Wrexham, Dan, because they are going to the Premier League, and that, from where they've come to where they're going, is just the fairy tale. I used to cover Wrexham when they were in the 5th tier of English football. It's called the Conference, the National League. 5th tier, fully professional, by the way. That's how much we love our football in England. 5 tiers of professional football. I used to go there. I used to cover the games, and that was around sort of 2008 kind of time, 2008, 2009. So to see them now, and in my opinion, they'll be in the Premier League within 3 years. And for us, that'll be an amazing story. And I can't wait for it, because everybody in Wrexham, it's just a small town in North Wales, everybody in Wrexham loves what's happening. And I would love to be a part of that. So if you've got any shares, sell them to me.
Yeah, but I don't think that the reaction when you had, 2 Hollywood celebrities buying your football team. They're coming in, and all of a sudden, the locals probably weren't keen on Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Not at the beginning, Dan, because Wrexham, like every English football club, is very steeped in tradition, has ways of doing things. English football has ways of doing things. And it sounds terrible. We don't like outsiders. And as much as we love Americans, sometimes we've had bad experiences in English football with some American owners. So I think there was reticence and there was nervousness that their club, because as I've told you, we've talked about before, Dan, football clubs in England are everything to the people in that town, city, or even village, really. And Wrexham is no different. So they weren't convinced when they came in. Took them a little time, but now they've realised they're two people who absolutely have the best interests of this club at heart and are taking them on to great things. And now I think they've bought him.
She's Rebecca Lowe, NBC Sports Premier League host and hosting at the Kentucky Derby. If I had a horse in the Derby, you know what I would name it?
What?
What do you think I would name it?
Harry Kane.
Wanker!
Oh, no! Dad, we got 2/3 of the way through this interview and I thought, this is going very calmly. Dan's behaving himself, and then you throw in the only word that you absolutely cannot say on English television. I can't believe you've just done that. I can't believe it.
I get you every year.
Oh my God.
I get you every year. Every year I get you.
At least you don't make me say it.
No. I would never. But if you were working and all of a sudden you went with the favorites and you went sovereignty, wanker, Sandman.
Stop it. Absolutely. Can you imagine? Because it's kind of the sort of thing I feel like might happen over here, because you guys think it's just like a jokey word and people have probably heard it on like Ted Lasso. Could you imagine? That could actually happen.
I know.
And there I am. Dad, I've had a situation recently where my son wanted to buy a fanny pack. And I just got to tell you, in England, we can't be using such words. You Google it, Dan Patrick. I don't want to say it again, okay? So do that after the show.
Have fun this weekend.